entertainment has a lot to do with packaging yourself and making sure that you just show what you want your fans to see out there.
Absolutely. People ask me where I get all my energy from. From the stage to the studio and to my desk. I am the energy god. And you can be one too.
You're listening to Adeshokwe Live, the Afrobeats podcast.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to another edition of Adeshokwe Live, the official Afrobeats podcast, where we break down the hottest topics in the culture. And most times, I'm joined by a special guest to chop it up with me one-on-one. As always, let's click the subscription button. Let's get our numbers going up. The bigger our platform gets, the better we'll be in position to promote our own people and culture without waiting for others to do so. This is brought to you by the Energy God Energy Drink. Drink and stay refreshed. Be yourself. This is for us, by us. So go to energygod.com. As always, Iconic Distro. Iconic Distro is where you can get information about music distribution, content distribution, global content marketing, global tech marketing. Visit iconicdistro.com for all your distribution inquiries, and they'll be very happy to feed you there. And it's, hey, I just put this one on. This is my Ibadan jersey representing IBD for life. Go to endsapparel.com to get your own jersey, whether you're from Lagos, Abuja, Ibadan, Akure. It's all there, endsapparel.com. Now, joining me in the Afro Media Studios for the very first time is one of, I would say, the pioneers of the Afrobeats movement. This is one member of a group that was groundbreaking, that completely shut down not only the dance floors, the radio waves, your birthdays, your wedding, definitely your wedding ceremonies. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the one, the only Tunde Akisomi, a.k.a. Tunde Styl-Plus.
Yay. Thanks for having me,
My brother, listen, man. Before the interview started, we found out we grew up in the same city.
Oh, yeah.
We probably run around the same circles as well.
Oh, yeah.
So you're an IB boy.
About half of my life.
Wow.
You know, staff school, ISI,
No way.
Bodija, Idishin,
Oh,
Jericho.
No way. So you hang around all my boys. Shout out to Toro Aluko, Femi, or Oshibolu, and then
everybody.
no way, man. You see, it's a small world.
It's a small world,
So
after all.
all those times when we're listening to the CDs and all of that, which somehow the story was that you guys were from Abuja.
Okay, so just before I got into university, we moved to Abuja. So it was quite coincidental that Shifi also stayed in Abuja.
Yeah.
And Zil, who grew up in Lagos, his father was moved to Abuja too. So everything just aligned, and
Wow.
and we formed Voltron.
So where you guys met at uni? Was
Yeah.
uni in Abuja?
No, it was in Akure. That's
Futa.
Federal,
No
Federal University
way.
of Technology, Akure.
My God, my brother went to Futa too. That's crazy, man.
It's quite improved now, but back then
It was
it
a
was
jungle.
just for the geeks, you know.
Yes.
Just they read
What did you study back then?
agricultural economics.
My
and
brother
extension.
studied geophysics. So
you
it
see?
was a tech.
We're in
type
the
of
same
people.
school then, the School of Sciences, you know.
That's crazy, man. Talk to me about, growing up in Ibadan, before you left secondary school. What was that like?
I'll first be thankful that I didn't go to boarding house. Yeah, because it got my mind, thinking, being inquisitive, all those times that people will be going for preps in their boarding house.
Yep.
I spent those times in my dad's garage trying to be a scientist.
Wow.
One day my dad, told my elder brother when he saw one contraption I was building, said, "Sofunturi kumak barel."
This was a fascinating.
Yeah, because the thing seemed like it was going to shock somebody. It was like I was building a satellite dish.
Wow.
Yeah, but it never
From
worked.
scratch.
Yeah, because he had lots of encyclopedias at home and I kept reading. I love to read. There was a time I would never use the loo if I didn't have anything to read while I'm
Just
doing
sit
it.
down there.
Just want to read, Life is short. You got to absorb all information you can, before you sign out.
It's interesting that you mentioned ISI. So I represented my school at dancing. And we came to all the ISI events. You know, we used to come and represent Loyola College, you know, when they had like Scala, and Attila. Come on, man. I was there.
Musti.
I was there. I was the guy that they went to in my school to come and throw it down when the likes of Scala and Attila were throwing it down for ISI.
Imagine.
So there had been, subconsciously for me, especially now, years later, there have been elements of the entertainment industry that had been embedded in me somehow from like secondary school. For you, was there elements of the entertainment industry?
Well, at school, I was one of those guys that never went to class, you know, because I had a little bit of ADHD and I was always distracted, you know, and but all throughout the time I was in school, I never knew I was going to do music. But there's this friends of my brothers that stayed right behind our house, and they had a piano.
Wow.
Yeah, so my elder brother learned the piano, and anything he did, I wanted to do too. So I just told him, Deji, teach me some few things, and that's what got me into music. Wow. However, prior to then, when I was in primary 4, my parents, you know, didn't pick me in school in time, and I joined the choir just to while away time.
After school?
Yeah, so while Mr. Sapong, the music teacher then, was you know, leading the choir, he stopped the piano suddenly, and I said, who's that? I thought I was in trouble, like, I'm not where I'm supposed to be, you know. And I said, well, who are you? I said, well, I just joined because I gave an excuse, and he said, you know what, you have a really good voice and you should think of a musical career.
No way.
I didn't think it.
Back in school.
I didn't pay any mind to that, you know, and I never really sang, but I've always been a part of a choir in church and all that. So it was until I got to the university while playing keyboard. You know, things happen for a certain reason.
Facts.
When I started playing piano in my hostel room, I started disturbing
the guys in the
my
bunk,
roommates.
guys,
Yeah, so they go to lecture and playing. They get back from lecture and still playing. At night, they're sleeping and playing. You know, I said, guy, you got to get your keyboard out of this room and you're disturbing us. So I shifted location. I went to the laundry.
No way.
To be playing. So one of those nights while I was playing in the laundry, Shifi walked by and saw me and he came around. I was watching me play. Now asked me if I knew some Boys to Men songs. Okay, I play, we'll sing. The next day it happened. The day after that it happened. And that's how StylPlus just started, because it became a routine for us to keep singing. And then some other people joined. And here we are today.
So all three of you met at uni?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
In Futa?
Yes.
In Akure?
Imagine, what are the odds?
Exactly. So we need to tell, these are the kind of stories, and this is the reason why I want to speak to people like yourself, because a lot of people, just like as we said, always think that, you know, everything starts from Lagos. Yeah. Now we're starting to get people that are talking about Port Harcourt. And then we're hearing about Abuja as well. But a lot of people would not even think that Akure had produced basically one of the greatest groups, in my opinion, ever to come out of Nigeria.
See, I always tell people that your location doesn't really matter. Nobody knows where I stay. If I didn't tell you I'm based in the UK now, you wouldn't know.
Facts.
You get, what you should be messing with is the music. Facts. Or whatever act you have. Just like some particular people that have been cancelled now, you know, like people like R. Kelly and all that. Yeah, that's their personality. But their music is still there. They did great music, and that's what I mess with, not just the personality of people. You can't take away from the good that they did because they did some bad.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and life is 50-50. You know, everywhere you say positive, there's a negative. You know, if you see, just think about it. There's up, there's down, there's black, there's white. Facts. There's male, there's female, there's positive, there's negative. Nothing exists in one polarity without having the opposite. It has to balance. You know, the pendulum swings left and right. You know, you have the left swing, the right swing, and you have the down swing. So you got to know where you are at a certain time of your life, and you can't use the part that you are to judge where you're going or where you are.
Absolutely, man. Listen, the group formed basically, like you said, subconsciously at university. You guys just ran into each other and started, the energy connected from there. Where did StylPlus first present itself as a group officially?
As a group, it started as Style. That is STYL, Shifi, Tunde, Yemi, and Larry. And we're basically a cappella and gospel a cappella group singing in our fellowship and all that. Wow. But we thought of it that, damn, we're not that religious. Who are we faking? You know, I'm from a background where we have church, you know, and we are really into church. So it actually affected me, the decision to do secular music. But I felt, well, I have my life to live. I just got to do what I believe in, you know. So we started writing our own songs, and and that's why in our music you never hear any profane lyrics, because we know where we're coming from and we know our intended, you know, audience. So as Style, then we were doing our acapellas, and Larry of blessed memory passed away in 1999. Wow. You know, so, and for a whole semester we were distraught. We didn't do anything. And Zil, who had been our friend, because we both have influences from Boys to Men.
Yeah.
We needed to do a project in Abuja, and he came to play, because he used to play football for the school.
Yep.
He came to play a competition in Abuja, and he came around, and we needed him for a fourth part. And he came through, and we felt that, okay, we're comfortable with Zil. He has to join. So we were the ones that actually pushed him that, guy, we need you. And that's how we formed StylPlus. So we did series of shows behind the glare of the industry, you know, which were well paying too, you know, because we had people who are well connected, who knew other people within the corporate world. However, there was this word-clef thing that Titi Abubakar did back then about women empowerment and stuff. So we did a song for that, and that's when we did the Stay Alive song.
Oh wow!
You
so the
should
Stay Alive,
yeah, was for that project.
Oh, you can stay alive for those you love.
Yeah, and then we only did it a cappella, no beat and all that. So while we were waiting for the program to start, we were just warming up with all the songs we had been writing, and our manager came around and heard us singing Olufumi. He said, "Wait, what are you guys singing?" I said, "I want of our song." He said, "Are you guys daft? That how won't you know about this song? That this is by far the best song you guys have ever heard from you guys." Wow. So there was this Laughter on the Loose that they used to do in Abuja back then, last Sundays of the month. Yeah. By some dude called Agoma. It was a comedy show. And we got on that platform with our guitar, just three of us, wearing palm slippers to come perform, because for us, music wasn't about packaging. It was about the music. It was just the art. Yeah, the passion for the music.
Absolutely.
So we did it with the guitar, and we did 2 songs, and people went gaga. And we felt, oh, people actually liked our stuff. And the guy came and said, "People loved you. Can you come next month and give us 5,000 naira?"
What? What?
The next month, we did it. He gave us 10,000 naira.
Wow.
And believe me, is that 10,000 naira we entered the studio with and recorded Olufumi and Run Away. And the rest is history.
I've got goosebumps, bro. I've literally got goosebumps. Your second pay day was basically the money you took to record arguably the #1 love song ever from Nigeria.
Imagine that.
And that's a hit too.
Pun intended.
What the hell? You recorded, so who was the producer that eventually crafted the beats around?
Okay, so before we met any professional producer, I used to be the group's official producer. Wow. Because I'm a keyboardist and I used to make the beats on PSRs, those portable series of Yamaha. Yeah. So, but because we knew that we were getting into an industry where it was very competitive, we needed industry professionals that were based, you know. Yeah. So, of course, we couldn't approach people like Nelson Brown, who produced Plantation Boys and all that. And prior to that, we had approached plenty of these big record labels, but they didn't give us shot. So let me tell you what brought about Olufumi actually. Yes. Because it could have been something else, not Olufumi. Wow. It was Sophia before.
Wow. So what brought about what brought about the change of name, the change of destiny?
Okay, so we went to Premier Music. They published Vietnam and all that.
A lot of the biggest.
So we were looking for a record label, a record deal, and I can't remember the name of the executive who told us that we sound too foreign. That why don't you guys bring it down, you know, to Niger level, you know, where people can identify with it, and told us, okay, After we heard that, we now went back to the drawing board and thought, okay, let's change this chorus to a Yoruba chorus. And I think that's what actually sold the song.
Facts.
Because anybody hearing it on radio would have thought, okay,
This
maybe
is not
another
Nigerian.
another voice. I mean, okay,
Yeah.
skip. Oh, nice song. But it always came to them as a shock when they heard Yoruba and said, oh, Durumi Bio, this is
Let's listen.
Niger, people. So around then, my elder brother just got married, and his wife is Olufumi.
Oh, you need to pay her. We need, listen, hey, miss, we need to get you paid. Copyright infringement, intellectual property.
Thank God she didn't copyright that name. So it was quite convenient for that name to fit the melody line that came to mind. And of course, if you notice, it wasn't sang in a different intonation.
No.
It was sang with the same Yoruba intonation. And that's what we try to maintain when we are doing music. So that we don't just force, Yoruba is do re mi.
Yep.
So once you go out of that, you're not actually doing it.
It's not, it doesn't sound like it's musical. Now you're just
So I
doing-
met someone last week, and she told me that Olufumi made her to start learning Yoruba. You get, and
Facts.
for me, it's a good thing to hear.
Facts.
So basically, we recorded Olufumi, Runaway, got it out there as independent artist, and we didn't think it was going to go that far. My eldest brother always laughed at me, doing music because it wasn't quite there. But when he heard Olufumi, he said, "Guy, this is going to be a hit," and that's when I knew that this song was going to go far.
Wow. So when you recorded it as an independent group at the time and put the music out, when was the first moment that you guys tapped each other and thought, wow, what's really going on here?
Okay. So after it came out, it was still being played on radio and all that. We saw the traction. We started getting one or few shows, Lagos, Calabar, all these places. We were still entering night bus back then. And then I used to stay somewhere in Abuja called Karu. And I used to boss down for buses, okay, even while the group was out. So one day I was in the bus and someone recognized me. Said, I saw you guys, I saw you with those guys that sang in Sheraton, like, are you not StylPlus? I said, yeah. Meanwhile, in my mind, what a real. I need to.
You don't boss.
I need to dodge, So while I was talking, the only thing that was on my mind, so immediately I got off the bus. I just called my manager, guy, I need to buy a car, make money available. So the next day I just went shopping for a car. So then I just understood that, okay, entertainment has a lot to do with packaging yourself and making sure that you just show what you want your fans to see out there.
Absolutely, man. Listen, that record and the album absolutely blew the roof off. Became not only successful across Nigeria, across Africa as well. Because I believe that record, especially for those of us that now emigrated to the UK, that was one of the first records that was being played in in African settings as an Afrobeats album alongside the likes of Two-Face, African Queen. Those were the staple records. And back home, did you start traveling out of Nigeria into African countries? Or it wasn't that popular at the time?
Okay, before StylPlus, I'd been traveling out, but while StylPlus started, I think just a year afterwards, we started, going to other places, Ghana, South Africa, UK, Dublin, America. But one thing that I won't forget was in 2009, when I just came for a week just to chill out with my girlfriend then, and we're in Alsden.
North London.
Yeah, and there was this Arab girl that was about not more than 7 years in hijab, going to school, and I was walking on the street, and she said, "Are you Shifi?" Wow. I said, "No." "Well, you're StylPlus." I said, "Oh my God, this person knows," And that made me believe that, okay, prior to that, I used to think, okay, well, mommy now, I can just be
You just
myself,
do
up
your
on the
thing.
bus, do anything, and just be myself. Unlike Nigeria, where I can do all of that. So it just gave me the idea that, wherever you are, you just got to remain, yourself. So it actually went to places that I didn't think it would go, and I can only thank God for that.
Absolutely, man. Well, with the success around the world came, I think, at the time when we in the UK and probably the diaspora was enjoying StylPlus at the peak of it, was when you guys called it a day for a bit and went
Okay.
your separate ways.
Okay.
Of course, that was when internet had just started,
Oh,
where
yeah.
anybody can go on internet and create any type of story that they wanted to create.
Oh, yeah.
What was the reason why the team decided to kind of call it quits for a while?
Okay, so this will be the first time I'll just tell it as it is. I've been very diplomatic
Yeah.
about it, before now.
And I appreciate that.
So, so I got married, okay, and that put a lot of pressure on me. I eventually put that much pressure on the boys too because I felt, I got bills to pay, and it's not just me and all that. So maybe I'll take the blame that it was my fault, that maybe I shouldn't have put that much pressure on them as well. So we couldn't handle the pressure at that time, and then we had disagreements, and we weren't even in good terms for a little while. But since my divorce, I've been very. The fog is now clearer. It's easier for me to be at
pinpoint.
peace, with anybody. You get, so all the relationships that I had issues with, they became clearer. I could see throughout the time that I was just all by myself. A lot of people, I got threats from people thinking, oh, okay, I broke the group and all that. But the truth is that all throughout this time, me and the guys who are cool, because we're not just like
You went
friends.
public.
We are brothers.
Yeah.
I can't take it anybody saying something negative about them. Because what you're going to say about them is the same thing you're going to say behind my back.
Facts.
And
Facts.
I saw through the bullshit. In the industry, because I've seen industry stakeholders, fathers that capitalized on the fact that we weren't together. So, but I like to
As
thank
usual.
the fans because they stuck to us. A whole lot of them, they just want to see us together. There are some people in the industry that are really fans too.
Yes.
So, and with all that happened, and with the newfound, clarity and everything, me and the guys were really cool.
How was it when you reached out? Who reached out again to kind of mend whatever had gone?
Well, throughout the time for instance, there's this particular, I'm not going to mention the platform, but it was a video awards for Big TV, in Nigeria. And I was given a VVIP ticket to attend. And while I was backstage, Dr. Seed now said, "Kilo Shenbi by," and our boy said, "Well, Lori stage." And for me, I felt, oh, this dude, I've never had any issue with him, the owner of the station, and why didn't he reach out to me?
To ask whether you
Why
be
didn't
cool
he think
to
like
join the
it
guys
could
on
be,
stage?
It could, be the one to be accredited the
For
bringing us
yeah.
together. So called the guys, and I felt the impulse to even join them on stage, but I didn't have a mic. I would have just surprised them on stage as well.
Because they didn't,
Yeah, so afterwards, after the event, I spent the next about 12 hours with Shifi and Zil in their hotel room,
just
catching up till morning. In the morning, and Shifi went for breakfast in the sports cafe downstairs, and the owner of the station, came down and he was shocked. You see, these are the roles I expected people to play. So, which tells me that a lot of people wanted us apart.
I think sometimes we as human beings don't even know how to address differences. So from the outside, he could have been thinking maybe the relationship was so bad that if I bring them close to each other, it might even mess the whole show up. So let me just follow the energy that the public perception. Remember, the public also played a massive role, this internet information twisting, in us believing that StylPlus was never going to be in the same room again. This relationship had irretrievably broken down. That's what we were reading. So if you're somebody that buys into that type of thing, it might stop you from doing what you could have
but
done.
that tells a lot about who you are, because everybody has an opinion in life.
Facts.
And if you're such a person that bases your actions on
what you
someone,
see.
on general opinion, then you don't have an opinion. Okay, let me take you to someone that I appreciate so much and I respect so much. Someone like Sheyi Shodimo.
Egbon.
Yeah, he has done 2 editions of Grown and Sexy,
Yep.
and StylPlus has been involved.
Absolutely.
How did he do it? We've performed with Zlatan for his Zlatan to the World, the one he
Yep.
did in Lagos.
Yep.
How did he do it? You just have to pick the phone, ask, and it shall be given to you. You know, you can't be assuming. If you are educated, if you are exposed, you got to show it. It's by what you do that they know who you are, what you think. You know. So, but then no hate to anybody, towards
man. It's
anybody.
love.
Yeah, it's all love, man. I forgive you.
I saw when you came on stage at the Paul Play event in London. Shout out to Paul Play.
Yeah.
Where the first thing you did when you grabbed the mic is like, "We're cool, me and the boys are cool." Blah, blah. Does that still happen where you think people are not quite sure whether the band is cool or not, and
Well,
you have to?
okay, before I used to keep it on the down low. I just come and do my stuff. But I realized the importance of people knowing that as I owe that to the fans.
Facts.
You know, so a couple of times I've done some TikTok live, you know, just talk to the fans.
Yeah.
And, you know, when I tell them I and the guys are cool,
It's a
some of them
surprise.
actually went to Instagram to check if, you know, we are following each other, we like each other's posts. So
Yeah,
people
don't
actually
mind
take
them.
you serious.
Yes,
You
absolutely.
know, and I realized that the fans actually want us, you know, anytime I do stuff with the boys, they're always saying, guys, do this, just do this. And eventually it's going to happen, you know.
You're on an independent path as well.
Yeah.
Not only musically. Let's talk about musically.
Okay.
You know, you've released a couple singles. Talk to me about your thought process, what you're doing independently with music.
Okay, so one good thing about doing stuff alone is that you don't need to ask anybody for permission, so you just do it anyway.
Yeah.
But for me, I didn't go into music because I want to be a solo artist. I'm still doing all those solo projects because I love music. I'm a producer.
Yeah.
So from the start of the idea of making music to the end, I know everything about it. Apart from that, I also read music.
Yeah.
All my music has a score sheet, you know, for it so that people can actually
Play it anywhere else.
get. So I try as much as possible to get myself educated in whatever I decide to do, just like the game development
We're
and all
gonna
that.
go in
One
that
thing is
too.
going to go to, you know, lead to the other. So for my music, I do music based on my experiences and what I expect to see in the future, and other people's experiences, but mostly my experiences, you know. So I've done maybe over 20 songs, but I have officially out about maybe 10, you know. During the COVID era, I did an album.
Yeah.
I released it, but I pulled it back because I just felt,
It wasn't at the right time.
I felt like my musical, you know, preferences had changed. And since people hadn't gotten to hear the album, let me pull it back, you know. And so I have a new project I'm working on now,
Yeah.
which is because there's so much unrest in the world. People are easier hating than loving. But what does it take to love your fellow guy, your fellow friend? You know, humanity comes first. With all the wars going on, I think it's about time we have another heal the world kind of song.
Facts.
You know, telling people the importance of love. Yeah, having your brother's back, being your brother's keeper, and giving a helping hand to people that are less fortunate.
Absolutely.
So-
Do you have dates to that? When
You see, I always don't like to put a date to it because
So do you have some time that we can be looking forward to it?
okay, so the song is done. Like
Yeah.
that, there was an event I did on Saturday, and
Yeah.
I introduced it to them, and they absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
But there's still one thing, you know, left to do on the song.
As a music man.
Yeah, because until I realized that there's nothing left to do on the song, Kini mo le ṣe o? Okay, there's nothing, you know, left to add. Then
Just give it
okay,
to the
it's
people.
ready, and I'll now set a date to it and start talking about the distribution, the promotion, and That's it.
Before we started the interview, you also touched briefly on your other part
Yes.
in the tech world, which is game development.
Yes.
How did you venture into that, and what are you doing at the moment?
Okay, so I ventured into music because I got tired of just being an end user.
Yeah.
I love to create stuff. So it so happened that music was the thing I was doing at that time. So with age coming in, and everybody has a limited time,
Yeah.
so I want to be everything I want to do. So I ventured into data analysis. I always thought coding was something really difficult for people, but experience has taught me that whatever it is that you put time into is
To
what you're
learn.
going to get good at.
Facts.
So I started doing my programming, my Python and all that. And then I'm a gamer. I play games a lot. I probably trash anybody that's even a Gen Z right now in soccer. You know what I'm saying? As in, I'm
You're on it.
yeah. As in, I play online people and I kill them. Do you
From any
understand?
part of the world.
So I just felt, okay, it's about time I start creating it. And I did some research about it, and I realized that, it's no longer Python, it's a C#. I started learning programming, and so from data analysis, I ventured into game development. And because I'm not used to doing a 9 to 5, I'm more in the entrepreneurial, angle to it,
Yeah.
creating it, and then probably I'm partnering with
Pitching
some
it.
other people, and I'm working on 3 games at the moment. One is the normal Tetris that but
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, okay, what can I do to make it different from the Tetris? And then the generic runner game, and then my baby, which is a GTA styled game that is located in Niger.
Well, Sherry, that's what I like.
So
like
it's
that.
going to have all the Nigerian ones. It's like you pass checkpoint, they don't debit you with that.
Facts. Let's do that.
Nigerian soundtracks and all
That's
that, and selling the culture
That's
to the
good.
world.
That's good. That's fantastic. I think, like I said, I think it's something that you should also get on the phone with the same Dr. Sid, man, because he's heavy in the gaming world as well now. I know he's based out in Houston at the moment, also working on projects like this. So I believe not only creatively that you guys can also think of,
Yeah, now that you said, I'm going to give him a ring.
Give him a ring, man. Speak to him and pick his brain on that. Now, with what Afrobeats has become now,
Yes.
the good thing is StylPlus. You guys still young. You guys still look like you're in your teenage years, basically. Where do you see StylPlus in today's music, in today's atmosphere, Afrobeats atmosphere? Because I've got my own perception. What you guys were doing were basically what the likes of Boyz II Men and Co were doing in R&B in America. And that lane in Nigerian pop music is still wide open.
Yeah, so but before I even talk about where StylPlus is going, it quite shocks me when they talk about Afrobeat and they skip our name.
Oh, talk.
You understand? Because before then, we had people, Plantation Boys wasn't Afrobeat.
Yep,
It was more of R&B.
R&B, everybody.
Yeah, and then we came with Olufumi, which is not R&B. That's Afrobeat.
Facts.
You get, check the beat itself.
Facts.
It's not R&B, it's Afrobeat.
Yeah.
And then they start talking about pioneers of, people actually, paved the way for
Yes.
us as well, just
Yes.
like we paved, because first, we were the first independent record label that broke into the market
Talk
in
that
Nigeria,
talk.
because everybody was under
Was
someone
backed by
big. Is
Kenny's
it Dove
Music or
Records, is it
something?
Premier Ebony, what's it called, Ivory Music, Kenny's Music,
Yep.
all of them. But we came as independent artists. We were the first crew that even had the crew idea before More Hits came. We were the first crew that started giving credits to our producers.
No way.
Yeah, did you hear anybody mentioning their producers in the songs before us? So these things have to be said.
Facts.
You understand? So if you don't know where you're coming from,
We
you
don't know
can't
where
know where
we
you're
are.
going, and you don't know where we are.
100%.
So I'm thankful that we did songs that can stand test of time, because the truth is, a whole lot of people want us away, but the songs will never go away.
Talk that talk.
So when you want us away, the songs will remind you that we are still here, or we are going to be here, you know. And nobody knows tomorrow. I believe if we all come back together to do something, it's going to resonate with the hardcore fans.
Facts.
You know,
And
out
the
there.
new, and the young fans too.
I went to the Lauryn Hill concert, and
look at the way people were going crazy for that.
oh yeah, because when last did she release anything new?
Yeah.
You know, but what she has done so far, you know, speaks volumes.
Facts.
You get, and I was happy when I saw Wyclef get on stage, and
We used to be number 10. Now the place went crazy.
yeah,
I posted the video.
and that's what I saw, and
Yeah.
that inspires me. Like, no, you still have a lot to give to the industry.
We need you guys on
you just
stage.
have to be there
Yeah.
and do your bit, you know.
I spoke to Shay Shodimu for years about the Grown and Sexy idea before he even started it. He
Okay.
called me every time. Is this thing gonna it's gonna work? We were speaking for years, for almost 4 or 5 years. And that was why I went to the Paul Play event to tell Paul Play
Yeah.
that listen, this thing, trust me, there's an audience for it. We see the likes of Keith Sweat and Co. touring 50, 60 dates in America. Not only entertaining audiences like ourselves that were born and raised with it, but the new generations, they listen to this music too.
Sure.
So, but the only way you're going to find out is if you're there
Yeah.
doing the work.
Exactly. Because people are quick to forget.
Absolutely.
Everybody, they have their lives to live, their bills to pay,
Facts.
and then it's whatever that's played to their ears that they'll remember. Then they suddenly play your song to them. Oh, it shouldn't be like that.
Yes.
They should be looking for you because you keep reminding them that you are still here.
Absolutely. And you mentioned speaking about things too. I said that we need a lot more of you guys going to podcasts, speaking, teaching, because without you guys letting people know where we had come from, what it was like in 2000, in 1999, 1998 to 2001, we're going to get people in 2024 that will act like everything just started yesterday. You know, so your knowledge, your experience within the industry is important, not only to teach the young ones, but also to print a solid footstep that we can trace back to something. Without that, we'll be losing a huge chunk. So I was super excited to see you on stage performing at Paul Play. I look forward to seeing you even more. I'm happy to hear, the great stuff that you're doing, not only musically, but in the tech world, and the fact that the group that gave a lot of us incredible memories are still here, kicking strong.
Yay.
So congratulations of what you've done so far.
Thanks.
But there's still going to be huge celebratory moments for you and the guys going forward. Because I believe now is the time for people like yourselves to officially step into your glory. It is time now. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for my guest, Tunde Styl-Plus. Listen, my brother, thank you for pulling up, man. We listened, we played. I played on radio in 2002, 2001 here in the UK and stuff like that. And your music was what we were playing to our community that developed into where we are now. We never had the opportunity to sit across the table, and really thank you for what you guys did at the time that you didn't know what you were doing. But because of what you did, is why we're here.
So you see, I appreciate your appreciation. It's always nice to know that, okay, you made an impact on people and it was positive, and that they actually still believe in you to be true to yourself.
Thanks.
And be who you are, and I appreciate that.
No, man, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. And that was the Afrobeats podcast with Tunde, a.k.a. StylPlus, my brother.
Peace out.
The Afrobeats Podcast.